Hi, I'm Sam McDonough. I'm a bikini pro. It's pretty new. It's the Arnold Amateur from earlier this year in March. And more than anything, I'm just a major bikini fan. And I haven't seen a lot of people making prediction videos for this year's Bikini Olympia. So I thought I would just make one myself because I like to nerd out about this stuff. And there's not a lot of bodybuilders who live next to me that I can just go fully into depth with. So I'm going to make a prediction video. And I'd like to preface with saying that these people have all done way more than me and have achieved way more than I have, or probably even will. They're all making it to the Olympia, so this is like I don't want anyone to get a bad taste in their mouth. I don't know if it's in poor taste to even do one of these, but I'm gonna do one just for fun. So let's see what everyone thinks if anyone watches this. So let's start with my predictions. I have been making predictions for the past few years. Looking at my little spreadsheet, I see that I did not do it last year, but I'm back at it this year. Not that anyone even knew, because I just make this for myself. Okay, so here's the Olympia qualified list for this year. I have it highlighted here the people that I think will make it into top 15, which has changed a little bit. I'm sure I'm gonna miss some people that are in the top 15 this year, um, because I don't know a lot of them. Like I follow all the shows, I see who wins and stuff, but like specifically the competitors from Asia, we haven't seen them on a stage here in the US against people who have placed top 15 in the past few years. Like some of them, yes, but not enough for me to have like a very good sample. So yeah, so hopefully I'm wrong and people from places that are around the world that have not come and competed here very much, hopefully they do make it into the top 15. And here is the top 15 from last year. The names that I have highlighted in pink are people who are not going to be competing this year. Obviously, Jennifer Dory being the main one. So yeah. So here are the different iterations of my top 15 so far. I'm on my fourth iteration. It's still not final because who knows? Everything is so close. So, okay, let's start. My number one, okay, I'm just gonna go with it. Like these are my final 15. My number one is gonna be Maureen. So Maureen here, she just has like an undeniable stage presence. Last year her tan was a little bit dark and things started to blend together, especially with the red suit, because the red undertones on a suit against a really dark tan like this can kind of look like blah altogether. And I've seen none of these people compete in real life. This is just like strictly going off of pictures, which does not tell the whole story. Like a big part of what is judged in bikini or what catches judges' attention is your vibe on stage. And some of these people, their vibe just is chef's kiss. It's so good. And Maureen is one of those people. She has an incredible stage presence. The way she moves, she's confident with every step. Every movement has a purpose. Um, and she's just super balanced and has super bubbly round muscles. She doesn't get that hard conditioning that seems to separate people from the top 15 to the rest of the what was it, 53 athletes who were on stage last year, 53, 55, whatever. So yeah, she doesn't get the vascularity and graininess that it seems to be what separates other people from making it into that top 15. So that was her front pose. And now we have her back pose. So in the back pose, obviously we look for everything to match. So the width of your shoulders to match the width of your hips, that pop in the muscle without having a deep cut anywhere. And Maureen has that. She has the soft indication of the glute ham tie right here. The width is totally matching. Her hair could be, and this is like totally nitpicking. Like for me to say any of this, it's just they're all perfect anyway. These are just like tiny things that I'm sure are going to be worked on, or maybe they weren't even an issue. But what I would say here is number one, tan was a little bit too dark. Number two, the hair could be like a couple inches shorter. Just we can see that she tapers in here, like that cinch in the waist. But if it were a little shorter, it would really accentuate that hourglass shape that judges are looking for. And just to go into her front pose again really quick, we see the same thing with balance from the front, because bikini's all about balance and symmetry. And she has that same balance here in the front. These are just nitpicking. I would like to see the hair off of the shoulder there, and I would like the arm to be a little bit closer to really accentuate and frame that glute. But obviously, that's not hurting her. She's won the Olympia before, got second last year, and she's my pick to win this year. Okay. In my number 2 spot, I have Ashley Kaltwasser. The reason is she has been super, super full this year, which is very much in line with what's been winning the past few years. So like Jennifer and Maureen have been super full and bubbly. This Tokyo Pro show has like a million pictures, but you can see what I'm saying right about here. I think she's pretty much fully posed, minus her eyes being closed, of course. But same thing, like a really beautiful bubbliness to the muscle. Everything looks smooth, and very balanced from top to bottom. I know this year she's been working on building a little bit more quad density, just from me like lurking on the internet and seeing what they're working on. And yeah, she looks like super bubbly and full all around. So I think she has a really good shot at getting second place or winning. Like, a lot of these people could just win the show. There's not really a total front runner, especially with Jennifer not competing in this show. I should have chosen a different show to show you pictures of because there's so many pictures. Okay, so we can see here. I also love that Ashley has changed her suit bottom this year. So she was wearing a T-back for a long time, which exposes this little area at the top of the glute where it starts to connect to the low back. I will show you an example of what that looks like from a show last year. Let's see if it shows at the Vancouver show. Here we go. So that little T-back squares off the glute. See that harsh line compared to what we saw a second ago at her Tokyo show? This bottom, I'm so glad she changed, because the new one gives her like a really, really beautiful soft shape to the glute, and it really rounds the glutes well. And you can see that at her Vancouver show again this year, where I believe she changed it. Yeah, just much rounder and really shapes her glutes a lot better. So I'm very excited to see her make that change. One thing I've noticed this year that I wish would change, because she and her coach talk about it a lot, is the hair. At the last show, or the last 2 shows, she's been pretty good about getting her hair to be cut so it's not touching the glutes like this. But when we can't see that low back and we just have a curtain of hair, then it takes away, same thing we were talking about with Maureen, from that shape, the hourglass shape in the back, because it's all about an illusion. So if that waist is pushed more forward and we are able to see the low back, then things that are further away look smaller. So it gives the illusion of a smaller waist. But when everything is on the same plane like this with her hair, then it doesn't accentuate in that same way. So at the Olympia, I'm sure that's going to be something they do this year. And I'm excited. It would be really cool to see Ashley K win her 4th Olympia. What would it be? Like, her last Olympia win was, I think, 2015, so 9 years later. And it would be her 50th win, because she's not competing today, which is a week out from the Olympia. So that would be amazing. I would love to see her win. One thing with Ashley is also her stage presence. So she can see this year because she got her eye surgery. She had strabismus, I believe is what it's called. And notice she looks down a lot. When you look down like that, it makes you look less confident. And I think one thing that holds Ashley back is her stage presence in this way, because she's not exuding that, like, I'm here to win, I am confident, I look like the clear winner today. When you look down like that, it looks timid and nervous. See, the cut is so beautiful. It looks timid and nervous. So I would love, and in the past, she hasn't been able to see. So like she has to look down so she can see. So I'm really hoping that at the Olympia this year, she's going to just like bring that wow factor, because everything else is there. It's just going to be about that wow factor, the vibe she gives off on stage, in my opinion. So those are my top two. And then number three, I had a tough time. Between Ariana and Amy. So I've settled on Amy, but it's really difficult. So Amy got 6th last year. Ariana got 7th, and it was her first Olympia. Here is Amy at her most recent show of the year, I think. The New York Pro, that was her most recent show, right? She looked good. Like, same thing. Just round, bubbly muscle. Nothing is standing out, which is what you want. You want everything to look awesome, but nothing to be like in your face. No specific body part giving you the wow factor. The wow factor is going to come from your stage presence, how you carry yourself. And same thing, like super full glutes. They're looking for conditioning to match everywhere. So from the front to the back, she's just as conditioned. She doesn't have like really full legs and then a super grainy core or something like that. Stage presence for her is something, again, I think holds her back. Oh, Wasatch must have been her last show. It was Wasatch, right? Anyway, she looks like she's thinking about her posing a lot. You can see right there. It looks like she's really thinking through each move. You want it to look effortless. Obviously, there's a lot of effort that goes into it. Like, you don't become one of the best in the world without putting everything you have into it. So this is just nitpicking, and it doesn't seem to affect her in placings. At least, I mean, maybe Olympia does. I'm not sure if her stage presence is what's held her back. I think it's been other stuff, because she's still like very new to the pro league. She went pro at the first national show I did, which was in 2020 at USA's. So yeah. It's the looking down a lot, the face changes, like it just looks really thought out. So yeah, I think that's one of the things holding her back. I also wonder if the judges, I mean, because she is another person that could just win this show. But I know there's been talk in the past, which I think Tyler has said, never mind, but he said like, that's not true. Like that she doesn't have, quads were something that certain people were saying she's really overpowering in. Oh my god, I'm so popular. Look at all these DMs. Anyway, she doesn't really, Tyler said no, that's not true. She doesn't have any specific muscle that looks too grainy or too big, whatever. So yeah, I think all she needs to do is like do exactly what she's been doing, and then up that confidence factor, like making eye contact with the judges the whole time, not looking down. So yeah, she's my number 3-ish. I don't know. Ariana, I'm a big Ariana fan. I would love to see her win the Olympia this year. I think she will in the very near future, if not this year. I need to replace the batteries in my fire smoke detector, if you can hear that. So Ariana, at her first Olympia, which was last year, so she went pro in 2019, won the overall at NPC Nationals, and then did one pro show, but did not bring the same look, kind of got lost in the mix, and then she came back last year for the first time. She did a Texas show, I believe, got like 14th, I guess I can check, got like 14th or 12th or something, 13th, okay, yeah, so she got 13th, and then took some time off. They jumped the gun a little bit, and then she comes back and then just wins. Then just wins her second show, her third pro show ever. So yeah, she does 2 shows. 3 years later, wins, qualifies for the Olympia, gets second only to former Miss Olympia Isa Puccini, second again to Jordan Brannon, who's a perennial Olympian. She just qualified again at Legion, and then gets 7th at the Olympia. Like, are you kidding me? That's incredible. So yeah, same thing. Like, so anyway, this year she comes back, didn't look like herself from last year, and then now she's filled out these muscles again. You'll notice the same conditioning. I know I keep saying that, and I'm not really comparing it against anything else, but that's because that's the reason these people are in my like top 3, 4, 5, because they all have the perfect conditioning for the show. And same thing. She has that soft indication of the tie-in. This show, I'm so excited to see how she looks at the Olympia. This show, unfortunately, it was not that deep of a lineup. It had Romina, which was like the talk, like, is Romina going to win? Because Romina, 2 years ago, jumped into the last show to qualify for the Olympia, only show of the year, wins, and goes to the Olympia. And she's placed like 9th or higher at the Olympia in the past. But unfortunately, it was a bummer. She didn't come in how we thought she would come in. But someone new came up, Ekaterina. And now I think she's placed twice at her past 2 shows. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see how Ariana does. Great stage presence, great look. I'm excited about that. Okay. And then in my 5th place spot, I think Laura Lee could be 4th or 5th or win. It's just tough because she's come in twice, or second at the Olympia in 2021 and her first Olympia, which was 2018. And she always nails it at the Arnold. I know that's like what everyone talks about. She nails it at the Arnold, and then it doesn't work out in her favor at the Olympia. Like something big changes. But this year, and okay, that was the Olympia last year. Here are her most recent pictures from Arnold this year, where she won. And I think this will be more accurate to what she comes in looking like this year. So who knows how she's going to come in looking. She doesn't really post like updates of how she looks currently, which is fun. It's all in the mystery of bikini. Okay, so then, yeah, very balanced, very full, 1 point difference between her and Amy this year at the Arnold. And just, wow, yeah, I mean, she looks incredible. Really, what is there to say? What holds her back? Her glutes are sometimes overpowering. A couple of years ago, 2022, she came in way too conditioned. And then last year came in way too full. And again, this is 3-time Miss Bikini International. So like, what leg do I have to stand on? Clearly she's doing something right. And you can see here, the hair, it's shorter. So you can see that like itty bitty tiny waist. There are instances that you wouldn't want to have the hair, higher up like this, like if you have a naturally like pretty straight waist, but that's not really an issue for these top people that we're talking about. So yeah, I think she could win or be in 4th or 5th. And then we have Ashlyn, who I think could be in 5th or 6th. This is where like, I guess all of this is where things break down, because any one of these people like I think could move around. These are who I think is going to be top 15, and I think these people are the most likely, like these top 5, any of them I think could just win the show. But next we have Ashlyn. So dang, Ashlyn looks good. Like, I mean, I haven't seen really updates. I guess I did see one. But that's not on stage, so it's hard to know. But Ashlyn, same thing, full muscle. Like, what else is there to say that I haven't said about other people so far? One thing, and this held her back last year, I'll pull up that picture, is she said she needed body work done, like she had moved or something, and didn't have her body work person around, so she ended up really tilted forward in this front pose. What we would want is the shoulders to be in direct alignment with the glutes, like in a perfect world. She still placed 8th last year with that happening, so that means she's fierce. She's a fierce competitor. You gotta look out. She could win. I don't know about this year, but maybe. Who knows? So anyway, this year, this is how she was looking at the one show she did. When you're in a situation where you can do one show, pretty much bank on qualifying, that's incredible. Like, that's a threat. So yeah, see, she's a lot more upright in this photo here. And she has that fullness. Sometimes the only issue with her, and I don't even know if this is an issue, this is just like my guess. Tyler has not said this. He did a recap of this show, and he said that she was like spot on. But her muscle bellies are smaller up top. So in comparison to like her lower body, which is like really bubbly and full. So even though she's very bubbly and full up here, it could read as a little imbalanced. That's just totally a guess. And probably not even true. It's just like a question I'll have in my head until I see her in the actual lineup. And that's how it's going to go with everyone. Like, you're just going to have to see them in the lineup to make any real guesses. This is just like all for fun. And like I said, these people have done way more. Like, I'm not even close. So I don't have a real leg to stand on sharing this. But I'm a fan more than anything. Okay. And then same thing, balance in the back. And I think she's even like brought up some areas more since this show, like to achieve the judges' feedback. Because she's looking really full in her updates. Let's see. Does she have an update? Instagram, Ashlyn Little. Okay. Did she post an update here? Let's find out. Oh, that's not her. Okay. The Bikini Olympian. That must be Ashlyn Little. Yeah, okay, here she is. So this is, of course, how many weeks out is this? 3 weeks ago? Yeah, she's looking really full. Oh, she's standing even more up right here than she was before. And did she change the side that she poses on? Let's see. This just in. She may have changed the side she poses on. Oh, jeez. Sorry, guys. Whoever's with me on this. Okay. Here we go. So there's that. There's that. Okay. Well. Is Ashlyn Little going to change the side she poses on? That's the question on my mind. This looks really good. Yeah. She might be in 4th or 5th. Jeez. She looks really good. Okay. Unsurprisingly. Okay. And now, okay, whatever. Guess I have to accept that. Okay, so that's Ashlyn. And then I have Issa. So I have Issa in that, what is that? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th spot. So Issa is the first person that I looked up to in bodybuilding, because when I first got really into it in 2019, she was the winner. So I was like, geez, I was aghast at how incredible she looked. Now, she's really filled out her frame. She looks amazing. The one thing I think why I don't have her higher is because she still needs to develop her glutes more, and her stage presence, there's nothing to say about it. Like, the only 2 people who I have concerns about stage presence are the 2 people that we went over earlier, whose videos I showed you. My only concern with Issa is glutes. So her glutes look great, but if she got them to like put a little more tissue on, which I'm sure she's put on at least a little bit more tissue since her last show, which was in when was this? This was in whenever the Texas Pro was. I'm sure she put on a little more size. Yeah, August. Okay. So she can't have put on significantly more size in the past like month and a half to where she's not showing this amount of detail in her hamstrings. But the issue, I think, having never seen her in person, is that she needs to get her glutes bigger so that she doesn't have to get so conditioned that we start to see these lines in the hamstrings. So that's where things start to break down. Like, if we look at that picture compared to, say, Maureen's back pose, you see there's just like, you don't see these hamstring cords. There's a lot of detail here, and that's not what you're seeing in like Maureen, Amy, Ashley, ever. So that's kind of the one thing there. But I think she could reclaim it in the near future. So there's Issa. And then we have Vanya. So the highest Vanya has placed was last year. She placed 12th, I believe. And this year she won, 12th. This year she won the Arnold UK, looking like this. This and perfect. Okay. And that. So here she is. She has super bubbly muscle. Her stage presence is like almost unmatched. Like, her and Maureen are probably my favorite posers in the entire league. Like, Laura Lee's posing is great, works for her obviously, but it has too many frills for me. And I think posing is something that helped her place as high as she did last year, just in my opinion. I mean, she's won the Arnold 3 times. I mean, how many times do I have to say that? Yeah. So super round glutes, very full muscle bellies, and Tyler even mentioned her as someone that you should be looking out for because she's like been chipping away since 2015, like just getting better and better. Here she is at her first show. Um, and she now has won the Arnold UK, and look at the fullness she's developed since then. Like, what an inspiration. I'm obsessed with Vanya. When I saw her win, I cried on the live stream. Okay, so I have her in, what was that, 8th? Yeah, okay, and then we have 9th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 9th. I have Rihanna in 9th. So Rihanna, okay, and this is kind of a slap in the face to Evie that I even say Rihanna is in 9th. But we all know that when Angelica Teixeira won the Olympia the year before that, she didn't even place at the Olympia. So it could happen, but it's kind of a slap in the face to Evie Eskandar, who got 2nd at the Tampa Pro, and Rihanna placed behind her. Yet I don't have Evie necessarily in my top 15. She's kind of like someone I think could be in that spot, but I'm not sure. And the highest she's placed is 12th at the Olympia. So it's kind of rude that I would say that I don't know that she'll be in the top 15 this year. And then last year at the Olympia, Rihanna placed 13th. So she's like definitely in the mix. When you're in that top 15, like that really says something. And here she is at the show she won this year. So let's go to the show she won, because I think that's when she was like most on. So the Chicago Pro, she wins this show. Full bubbly muscle, great balance, great stage presence, hair, makeup, it's all working. I wonder what suit she'll end up wearing. I think I like her better in red, but it doesn't really matter what I think. The purple looks great too. And then on Rihanna, you'll also see that she doesn't have this extreme detail in her hamstrings like sometimes we see with Issa. And Issa's not even extreme, but it's more extreme than the other people I've mentioned. So this is what the conditioning in the back looks like. We have that gentle indication of a tie-in and not too much detail back here, yet we can still see that full muscle belly, like these lines right here of the hamstrings. So she is who I have in my, did I say 8th spot? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th. Sorry. I should have just written the numbers. So this is my 10th spot, and I'll just put a 10 next to it so I don't keep doing that. Okay, Jasmine is who I have in 10th. So Jasmine, great stage presence, great balance, and she placed 2nd last year at the Atlantic Coast Pro to Ariana, who had just the week prior gotten 7th place at the Olympia. And it was like kind of a tough call from what I understand of that show. So super full round muscle, great stage presence, hair, makeup, suit, perfect. I'd like to see that shoulder level more, but this is just a picture. So, I mean, that's probably not even how it looked in real life, depending on the angle of the photographer and all that. But yeah, Jasmine, you just can't look away from her when she's on stage. She's completely captivating. And she still falls, and it's kind of an insult to say she falls within the parameters of an attainable physique, because these people, like, what is attainable? It's so rude to say that they look attainable because they work so hard to look like this that it's kind of rude to say that they have an attainable physique. But the bikini criteria is that they want it to look like an attainable look for the everyday gal on the beach. So I think she's going to be in that 10th spot. And then we have one of my faves, Maria Acosta. Tarek El Guindi mentioned her in Someone to Watch in one of the videos he posted on, I think, Olympia TV or NBC News Online, the YouTube channels. And I agree. I have seen Maria in person last year at a class show, and she's the person who was placed 2nd multiple times and just like was missing that Olympia qualification. Like in 2023, she placed 2nd 2 times. which is one spot away from qualifying, which is just like so brutal. So I was thrilled to see her win this year. And then she won 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, 2 weeks in a row. So same thing, full bubbly muscle, great balance top to bottom. Unfortunately, this sport is kind of misogynistic, so beauty and femininity are judged criteria. Which I feel so gross saying, but it's true. And she's got it. Not that the other people don't, but just, mentioning it. Full glutes. I know she's been working on getting like this upper outer edge, as they should say, to round out more. But I think it's where it needs to be to get in that top 15. So like I said, I have her in my 11th spot. She looks unreal. Like, very full, great stage presence when I saw her last year. So it's only improved since then, I'm sure, especially because she's working towards an Olympia showing. And then we see the same thing here. Like, she was very consistent with her physique. Of course, it was only within like a 2-week span, but still, it's hard to come in looking that good both times. And the tan looks really good on her. And that's also judged. And then I have Jordan. She last year placed 10th at the Olympia. And my holdbacks with her are, I know orange is her favorite color. I don't like the orange. I don't think it pops as much. It was fine last year. This year, she did a neon orange at the show that we're looking at right now. And I watched her Road to the Olympia video, and she said that she might change it up, or she'll do whatever works best for the Olympia stage. So who knows what that means. Either way, the suit's not going to be like the thing that holds her back. That's just my personal preference. But look, like, her smile is dazzling. Have you ever seen a smile that just looks like something they would put in magazines for a perfect smile? I don't know. That's what I see when I see Jordan. And super full bubbly muscles, tight waist. Like, her structure is unmatched. Like, she has a very unique structure. She's so tall, and her structure is just like, people would do crimes for that structure. Tiny waist, full muscle belly. She's put on even more size to fit what the judges want, not like a crazy amount of size that would pull her out of the bikini criteria. But yeah, and then here, the only thing is, I hope the tan doesn't do this at the Olympia, because that distracts me, now that I'm a judge. But I think that she, with her structure and her stage presence, which is incredible, I think she'll be, if not in that top 10, then like the 11th spot, like I have her put out right now, which again was a hard decision because like so many of these people look so good. Last year she placed 10th, and the year before that she placed 11th. And the year before that, 13th. So she's like been consistently in that top 15. Someone that I'm curious about with her is, we saw Ashley Hampton next to Jordan. She placed 2nd. And Ashley is qualified for the Olympia. She's competing right now, today, at Southern Muscle. And I would like to see Ashley in the top 15, like, very much. She has great balance, really great fullness of the muscles, great stage presence. I don't know if she will be this year, but I would really like to see her in there in the next couple years. So she's my honorable mention. And then this year she placed 2nd 2 times, and then like finally got her qualification. And the last year, same thing. Like, she placed 2nd, she placed a 3rd, which is, again, just so gut-wrenching because it's so close to that qualification. So to get 2nd to someone like Jordan, who is a top 10 Olympian, and Yulia Baba, who placed 3rd at this show right here, this class show, who went to the Olympia last year, like, to beat an Olympian and get right behind a 10th Olympian that's huge. So, honorable mention, Ashley Hampton. I really like her. And then we get into my, what is this, 10th, 11th, 12th, my last 15. But I also have Evie as an honorable mention. The only thing with Evie, okay, I'll get there, but let's first go to Angelica Teixeira. So, this will be her first Olympia since 2020. Here she is at the Arnold, which she just placed 4th at. She placed 4th at the Arnold UK, which is where this is from, I think, and the regular Arnold here. She also placed 4th. So great tie-ins. The only thing is I'm just seeing a lot of extra detail. Could just be this picture. I had to, for these pictures of the Arnold, I had to do screen grabs from videos because there were no ones officially posted to NBC News Online. But yeah, just seeing like a lot of detail and graininess. If she has that sorted out, I think she will definitely be in that top 15. I don't think there are politics in bodybuilding, but I do think that there's the psychology of, she's won the Olympia twice, and it's her first year back at the actual, like the Olympia again. And I think it would be hard not to put her in top 15. Like, I just don't see her not making it into the top 15. Not because of politics, but because she is who she is, and she could even place higher than where I have her. I'm not saying that's like the end all, but I think based on like the level of detail I'm seeing here, you don't see that in the other people who have been winning the past couple years. So that's my only hang up with Angelica, but love Angelica. Very excited to see her back on the Olympia stage. Reina Perez Macalo. I'm obsessed with her. Like, love her. When she qualified last year, I was pumped. And then when I saw her get on stage this year and like beating people, like beating Olympians, I was totally stoked. Not to be the person who's like, well, I've been listening to that band for 5 years and now they're mainstream, but like that's how I feel about Reina. So Reina, I wish she would get either a different suit designer who used different crystals, or I wish her suit designer would just use different crystals, because her crystals always appear dull on stage. So I think they're just like presentation things lacking with Reina. So like her front pose has been something she's working on. Something is just like a little bit off to me. I think she could widen her clavicle a little bit by like making her shoulders more level. Why do I even bother doing this? And because it makes her look like a tiny bit bottom heavy. So maybe if she like cranked that shoulder around slightly, then we would get that matching width that I was talking about earlier. And if she dropped her hand down, that would automatically level her shoulders. Back pose, Tyler told her she doesn't need any more muscle in her back pose. I think he said she doesn't need any more muscle at all. So yeah, so that was the Mexico show. And then this is the show she won literally the day before that, before she went and won the Mexico show the next day. And here you can see her suit again. It's just, those pictures aren't as good to showcase what I'm trying to talk about. It just doesn't look like the other suits. It's not as brilliant as the other suits. And I wonder if we can even let's look at a comparison picture. Because I think it really shows there. Whatever else, go back to this one. Yeah, it just looks more dull than the other suit we're seeing on stage. And I think the shape of the top could be a little bit better. Okay, and then another thing is, yeah, the front pose just maybe opening up more, because we really need that shape to be there. Like her back pose is perfect, like totally perfect. She doesn't need to do anything to that. It's just the front pose that she's been already working on tweaking, so I'm assuming it will be completely tweaked by now. And then here she is. Sorry, clearly I'm just like in love. Here she is in another picture where you can see what I'm talking about with the suit. It just doesn't have the same brilliance. And usually her makeup's a little light. Her makeup, like the glam factor, needs to be upped, I think, for her to get into that like top 15, even higher spot, which I already have her in anyway. So yeah, and then, okay, here are my last two that I think could be in the top 15. Tara Greer. Who do I think is more likely between Tara and Evie? I don't know. Maybe I'm just partial to Tara. I really like Tara as a look. She looks like really full, which we can see. The thing that holds Tara back is structure, like with her waist. Not that she has a big waist at all. Like, don't get me wrong, she is snatched, but her waist is just a little bit wider than other people's, like those top people who she will be compared to. So when we're getting down to like who is the best in the world, genetics are going to play a huge factor. Like structural genetics are going to play a big role in it. So the waist is going to be the question mark. From the back, her waist does not stick out to me at all. It's really, actually no, it sort of does, but with the fullness she has in this upper outer glute, it's minimized compared to her front pose. And see, she doesn't have crazy detail in here like we were talking about with Isa. Not to pick on Isa, I'm obsessed. So yeah, that's my thoughts there. I think she could be in that top 15. I would love to see her in the top 15. And this is another good example of hair. So we don't have too much of the low back showing like we talked about earlier, but it's not so full that it totally obscures her back. So we can see that beautiful taper because of the amount of hair she has. If she had more extensions, it would form an entire curtain over her back like we talked about with Ashley earlier. But yeah, so great. Glam, I always love her glam. Okay, Evie, this is what I'm talking about with Evie. Same thing we talked about with Angelica, it's just this graininess that we see, especially in her core. So like during the walk to the front, even though that's not a judge criteria, like your walk, that's not like mandatory thing. It is, it's a visual sport. So like if you see all these people with super full muscles walking towards you, and then one person has a super grainy area, like your core, which is a third of you when you're walking forward, then it's going to stand out maybe negatively. I hope it doesn't, because I really like Evie. She's placed as high as 12th at the Olympia. Let me double check. But her back pose also really bubbly and full. She's won about 1 million shows. She's someone who gets that extra graininess in the hamstring. So that's why she's not in like my top 10, and she's in that top like 11 to 15 range. So that's my thoughts with Evie. And she doesn't have that taper to the waist. Maybe it's just the way she's posing. Like maybe if she widened her shoulders a little bit, then we would get more of that like hourglass shape. But with the way her shoulder blades are pinched here, it's not really giving hourglass to me. And we can compare that. Let's compare it to another show, like Columbia Pro, where she won. Yeah, maybe it would be lat development, or maybe it's just like her clavicle is not as wide as her hips. I'm not sure. She's incredible. She's been in the Olympia like 1 billion times. How many times? 1, 2, where she placed 13th, 3. This will be her 4th. So yeah, she's been there like almost 4 times. 4 times in 6 days. So yeah, that's my top. I had Tamikia in my 15th place because she got 15th last year, but it's just conditioning is like sometimes it's just not even all around. Like I know one of the things she's been told is to work on her glutes, like getting more, I don't know that, that's my guess, sorry, getting more definition and not definition, density in her glutes, so that she doesn't have to get as conditioned to see her glute ham tie-ins. Not that the sport is all about glute ham tie-ins, but those are like a big judge criteria. Like, are you even everywhere? So let's look at Tamikia last year. Let's look at her this year. So she won the Nashville Fit Show. She's qualified. But when she moves, sometimes she'll just get this like little bit of softness under the glutes, like only when she moves, really. So if she had a little more density to her glutes, then she wouldn't have to cut too much to the point that you see the tie-ins, but everything else gets grainy along with it. Like, and we saw that in her placings this year. She got a first at her 5th show of the year, but before that, she was like consistently in the top 4, but things were just not balanced, because balance also encompasses conditioning. Is your conditioning balanced across your entire body? So we see like some softness here, but she has a lot of like definition up here. So yeah, it's just going to be a balance thing for me. And then, that's when we were looking at how great Ashlyn looks earlier. So yeah. So that's my top 15. 16 would be if Evie gets in there. But yeah, I'm just really excited. If anyone watched this, then let me know what you think, and if I'm wrong, and if I got some facts wrong. I pride myself on getting the data about these shows correct. So if I got it wrong, then tell me, because I need to be corrected. So yeah. Thank you guys so much. Oh, and I would love to see Allie Bathauer in the top 15. I don't know about this year, but dang, she'd be looking good. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Okay, bye.